The big leaders laugh at the old thing. High up in the stars, in the vast expanse of space, a grand assembly of alien civilizations gathered. This was the esteemed Galactic Council, the governing body that oversaw matters of diplomacy, trade, and exploration across the galaxy. The council chamber was abuzz with activity as its members, representatives from the most advanced alien races, discussed the latest findings from their exploratory missions. It was during one such meeting that a startling discovery was brought to their attention. "Honorable counselors," spoke a young scientist, her voice trembling slightly as all eyes turned to her. "Our exploration team has uncovered something unprecedented." She gestured to the large holographic display at the center of the chamber, which flickered to life, revealing the image of an enormous, aged spacecraft. Its hull was pitted and scarred, a testament to the ravages of time, yet its angular design and powerful silhouette suggested an engineering prowess that far surpassed anything the Council had encountered before. "This vessel," the scientist continued, "was found adrift in a remote sector of the galaxy. Our initial scans indicate it is of human origin, a species we have long considered to be primitive and technologically inferior." Murmurs of disbelief and confusion rippled through the council chamber. The humans, a civilization that had only recently joined the galactic community, were known to be relatively young and unsophisticated. The idea that they had once possessed such an advanced and formidable-looking spacecraft was simply unthinkable. One of the senior council members, a grizzled old Zorelian admiral, let out a derisive snort. "Impossible. The humans are little more than children, stumbling around the stars with their crude ships and laughable weapons. This relic you found must be some sort of elaborate hoax." The scientist shrank back, intimidated by the admiral's dismissive tone. "I assure you, Counselor, our findings are genuine. The vessel's design and construction are unlike anything we've encountered before. We believe it may hold the key to unlocking the true potential of human technology." Another council member, a haughty Vosgian diplomat, rolled all four of her eyes in exasperation. "Potential. The humans have barely managed to leave their own pathetic little planet, let alone construct a warship of this magnitude. Clearly, this relic is nothing more than a remnant of a bygone age, a curiosity, at best." The other council members nodded in agreement, their expressions a mix of bemusement and condescension. The idea that the lowly humans could have once possessed such advanced technology was simply too far-fetched to be taken seriously. "Then what do you propose we do with it?" the scientist asked, her voice growing more timid by the moment. The Zorelian admiral leaned back in his chair, a glint of amusement in his eyes. "Do? Why, we'll simply tow the thing back to one of our research outposts and study it, of course. Perhaps we'll even find a way to repurpose its technology for our own use. After all, the humans have clearly abandoned it, and they have nothing we cannot easily surpass." The other council members murmured in agreement, already envisioning the potential applications of the Relic's advanced systems. In their arrogance, they failed to consider the possibility that the humans might have a deeper connection to the spacecraft, or that it might still harbor secrets yet to be uncovered. With a dismissive wave of his hand, the Zorelian admiral turned to the scientist. "See to it that the vessel is secured and transported to our facilities immediately. I want a full report on its capabilities within the next solar cycle." The scientist, her face etched with a mixture of disappointment and trepidation, nodded reluctantly. "As you wish, Counselor." As the meeting adjourned, the council members departed, already discussing the potential implications of their newfound relic. None of them spared a second thought for the humans or the significance of the ancient spacecraft they had so casually brushed aside. Little did they know, the relic they had so readily dismissed was about to change the course of the galaxy forever. Waking up the old thing. The ancient human warship, now in the possession of the mighty Galactic Council, was carefully transported to a secure research outpost on the edges of explored space. There, a team of the Council's best and brightest scientists and technicians set to work, eager to unlock the secrets of this relic from humanity's past. Leading the investigation was a young Vosgian named Teria, a brilliant mind with a natural curiosity that often got her into trouble. While the other researchers were content to simply catalog the ship's exterior and run superficial scans, Teria was determined to delve deeper, to uncover the true nature of this mysterious vessel. "There's more to this ship than meets the eye," she muttered to herself, her 4 eyes narrowed in concentration as she pored over the data. "I can feel it." Brushing aside the cautionary objections of her colleagues, Teria began to meticulously examine the ship's internal systems, searching for any sign of hidden functionality or untapped potential. She ran detailed scans, probed the ship's power core, and even attempted to access the onboard computer systems, all with little success. But just as she was about to give up, something caught her eye. A faint energy signature, barely perceptible, emanating from deep within the ship's core. Teria's curiosity was piqued, and she immediately redirected her efforts to investigating this new discovery. "If I can just find the source of that energy," she murmured, her fingers flying across the control panels, "maybe I can figure out what's really going on here." Days turned into weeks as Teria worked tirelessly, her determination fueling her every step. The other researchers, initially skeptical of her methods, gradually became drawn into her quest, captivated by the prospect of unlocking the secrets of this enigmatic relic. And then, one fateful day, Teria's persistence paid off. As she delved deeper into the ship's systems, she stumbled upon a sequence of commands, buried within the ship's core, that seemed to be slowly reactivating the vessel's long-dormant systems. "By the stars," Teria breathed, her eyes widening in awe. It's coming back to life." The other researchers gathered around her, their faces a mix of fascination and trepidation as they watched the ancient ship's systems spring to life. Lights flickered to life along the hull, and the faint hum of power coursed through the vessel's veins. Teria's fingers flew across the control panels, her mind racing as she attempted to understand and control the reawakening processes. But the ship seemed to have a mind of its own, as if it were shaking off the dust of centuries and stretching its metaphorical limbs. Suddenly, a deep, resonant thrum echoed through the research outpost, causing the very walls to tremble. The researchers staggered, their eyes wide with a mix of wonder and fear as the human warship's engines ignited, bathing the surrounding area in a brilliant, blinding light. "Impossible," the lead researcher, a grizzled Zorelian admiral, breathed, his voice tinged with disbelief. "That power, it far exceeds anything in our arsenal." Teria turned to him, her expression a blend of triumph and trepidation. "I told you there was more to this ship than you realized," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "We've only just begun to uncover its true potential." The Zorelian admiral's expression darkened, and he quickly barked orders to his subordinates, dispatching teams to secure the area and contain the reawakened vessel. But even as the researchers scrambled to regain control of the situation, the human warship continued to come back to life, its systems powering up with a relentless, unstoppable force. It was clear to all present that this was no mere relic. This was a vessel of unimaginable power, a testament to the technological prowess of a civilization the Galactic Council had long underestimated. And as the ship's weapon systems began to whir to life, the researchers realized that they had stumbled upon something that could forever change the balance of power in the galaxy. The old thing's power shone. The research outpost was in a state of pure chaos as the reawakened human warship continued to power up, its systems coming back to life with a speed and intensity that left the Galactic Council's scientists and technicians reeling. Teria, the young Vosgian researcher who had first discovered the ship's hidden potential, watched in a mixture of awe and trepidation as the vessel's thrusters ignited, sending shockwaves through the surrounding space. The Zorelian admiral, his face twisted in a grimace of fear and anger, barked orders to his subordinates, desperately trying to regain control of the situation. "Shut it down. Disable its systems before it's too late," the admiral roared, His 4 eyes narrowed to slits. But the ship seemed to have a mind of its own, its defenses activating with a speed and efficiency that caught the researchers off guard. Crackling energy fields surrounded the vessel, deflecting their attempts to tamper with its systems. Teria watched, her fingers flying across the control panels as she tried to understand the ship's behavior. "It's almost as if it's protecting itself," she murmured, her expression a mix of fascination and dread. The Zorelian admiral rounded on her, his large, imposing form looming over the young researcher. "This is your doing, isn't it?" he snarled. "You and your meddling have awakened a beast we can't control." Teria held her ground, her 4 eyes narrowing defiantly. "I was simply trying to understand its true nature. I never intended for this to happen." Before the admiral could respond, a sudden surge of power ripped through the research outpost, sending the researchers scattering. Teria and the admiral staggered, their attention drawn to the human warship, which had now activated its formidable weaponry. Massive cannons and missile launchers emerged from the ship's hull, their targeting systems locking onto the surrounding council vessels and outposts. The researchers could only watch in horror as the warship unleashed a devastating barrage of fire, its weapons cutting through the council's defenses with unparalleled precision and power. "By the stars," the Zorelian admiral breathed, his face pale with fear. "That firepower, it's unlike anything we've ever seen." Teria's mind raced as she tried to comprehend the implications of what they had unleashed. "This ship, it's not just a relic, is it? It's a weapon, a tool of unimaginable destruction." The admiral's expression hardened, his fear giving way to a steely resolve. "Then we must destroy it, before it destroys us all." He barked orders to his subordinates, mobilizing the full might of the Council's forces to overwhelm the human warship. But as the Council's ships converged on the ancient vessel, they quickly learned that their conventional weapons were woefully inadequate. The human warship's shields shrugged off their attacks with ease, and its powerful cannons and missile batteries tore through the Council's defenses with ruthless efficiency. Teria watched in horror as ship after ship was reduced to smoldering wrecks, the once mighty Galactic Council unable to overcome the raw power of the relic they had so casually dismissed. As the battle raged on, Teria began to understand the true nature of the vessel they had uncovered. It was not merely an ancient relic, but a testament to the technological prowess of the long-forgotten human civilization. And now, with its systems reactivated, it posed a threat that the Council had never anticipated. Teria turned to the Zorelian admiral, her expression grim. "We can't defeat this ship with our current technology. It's time to consider the possibility that the humans may have been far more advanced than we ever imagined." The admiral's eyes widened, his expression one of dawning realization and dread. "Then, what are we to do?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Teria's gaze darkened as she watched the human warship continue its relentless assault, the Council's forces crumbling before its might. "We must find a way to make peace with the humans," she said, her voice resolute. "Before it's too late." Talks and tensions. The Galactic Council found itself in a state of utter panic as the reawakened human warship continued its devastating assault on their forces. The powerful vessel, once dismissed as a mere relic, had proven to be a formidable and unrelenting adversary, its advanced weaponry and shielding systems overwhelming the Council's best efforts to subdue it. In the aftermath of the failed attack, the Council's leaders convened an emergency session, their faces etched with a mixture of fear and resolve. Teria, the young Vosian researcher who had first discovered the ship's hidden potential, stood before them, her 4 eyes filled with a sense of both trepidation and determination. "Honorable counselors," she began, her voice calm and measured, "it is clear to me now that the humans possess a level of technological sophistication that we have grossly underestimated. This relic we have uncovered is not just a remnant of the past, but a weapon of unimaginable power." The Zorelian admiral, his massive frame still bearing the scars of the recent battle, scowled darkly. "Then we must destroy it before it destroys us all." The humans are a threat that we cannot afford to ignore. Teria held up a hand, silencing the Admiral's bellicose outburst. I understand your concerns, Counselor, but I believe that a more diplomatic approach may be our best path forward. We have much to learn from the humans, and it would be unwise to provoke them further without first attempting to establish communication. The other council members exchanged uneasy glances, their expressions a mix of apprehension and reluctant agreement. The thought of negotiating with a civilization they had long considered inferior was a bitter pill to swallow, but the reality of the human warship's power was difficult to deny. "And what do you propose, Teria?" asked a Vosian diplomat, her 4 eyes narrowed in skepticism. "That we simply extend an olive branch to these humans and hope they do not annihilate us." Teria took a deep breath, her mind racing as she formulated her response. "Not exactly. I believe we should approach this situation with caution and diplomacy, but also with a willingness to learn and understand the human's perspective. We must acknowledge that they may possess knowledge and capabilities that we have yet to comprehend." The council chamber erupted into a heated debate, with some members advocating for a more aggressive, preemptive strike against the human warship, while others, led by Teria, argued for a more diplomatic and cautious approach. The tensions within the council were palpable, as the members struggled to reconcile their fear of the unknown with their desire to maintain the delicate balance of power in the galaxy. As the argument raged on, the lone figure stepped forward, his presence silencing the room. It was the Tarkagian ambassador, a renowned diplomat, known for his ability to find common ground in even the most intractable of conflicts. "Esteemed counselors," he began, his deep, resonant voice commanding the attention of all present, "I believe that Teria's proposal has merit. While the threat posed by this human warship is undeniable, we must consider the potential benefits of establishing communication and understanding with this civilization." The Zorelian admiral opened his mouth to protest, but the ambassador raised a hand, silencing him. "Consider this. If the humans truly possess the level of technological prowess that this relic suggests, then there is much we could learn from them. Their knowledge and expertise could prove invaluable in advancing our own capabilities, and potentially even in finding a way to coexist peacefully." Teria's eyes widened with hope, her heart racing, as she listened to the ambassador's words. The other council members, though still visibly uneasy, seemed to be weighing the merits of his argument. "Very well," the Zorelian admiral finally conceded, his expression one of grudging acceptance. "We shall attempt to make contact with the humans and see if a peaceful resolution can be found. But I warn you, Teria, if this proves to be a foolish endeavor, the consequences will be severe." Teria nodded, her resolve strengthened by the council's decision. "Understood, Counselor. I will personally oversee the negotiations and ensure that we proceed with the utmost caution." As the council members dispersed, Teria could feel the weight of the task ahead. The future of the Galactic Council, and perhaps even the entire galaxy, now rested on her ability to navigate the delicate and unpredictable waters of diplomacy with the powerful and enigmatic humans. The human representative. The Galactic Council's decision to attempt diplomatic outreach with the humans was met with a mixture of trepidation and reluctant acceptance. Teria, the young Vosian researcher who had spearheaded the idea, found herself at the center of the mission, tasked with establishing first contact and navigating the uncharted waters of communication with this mysterious and powerful civilization. As Teria and her team prepared to make the dangerous journey to the human warship, the tension within the council chamber was palpable. The Zorelian admiral, still wary of the humans' intentions, had insisted on a substantial military escort, just in case the negotiations turned sour. "We cannot afford to take any chances," the admiral had growled, his 4 eyes narrowed in suspicion. "The humans have proven themselves to be a formidable foe, and we must be ready to respond in kind if necessary." Teria understood the admiral's concerns, but she also knew that a show of force could jeopardize the delicate negotiations. "Counselor," she had argued, A heavy-handed approach may only serve to antagonize the humans further. We must demonstrate our willingness to engage in good faith without any overt displays of aggression. After much debate, a compromise was reached. A small diplomatic party, led by Teria, would approach the human warship alone, while the Council's military forces would remain at a safe distance, ready to intervene if needed. As Teria's shuttle drew closer to the massive human vessel, she couldn't help but feel a sense of trepidation. The ship's sheer size and power were truly awe-inspiring, a testament to the technological prowess of the long-forgotten human civilization. She took a deep breath, mentally steeling herself for the encounter ahead. When the shuttle finally docked with the human warship, Teria and her team were greeted by an unexpected sight. Instead of the hostile, heavily armed reception they had anticipated, a single figure stood waiting for them. A human, clad in a simple yet elegant uniform, his expression calm and composed. Teria stepped forward, her 4 eyes narrowed in a mixture of curiosity and caution. "Greetings," she began, her voice carefully measured. "I am Teria, representative of the Galactic Council. We come in peace, seeking to establish communication and understanding between our peoples." The human representative inclined his head, a faint smile playing on his lips. "Greetings, Teria. I am Kiran, envoy of the United Human Dominion. We have been expecting you." Teria blinked, taken aback by the human's composure and apparent foreknowledge of their arrival. You were expecting us." Kiran nodded, his gaze steady and unwavering. "Indeed, we have been monitoring the Galactic Council's activities for some time now, and we are aware of the incident that occurred at your research outpost." Teria felt a shiver run down her spine, her mind racing as she tried to comprehend the implications of the human's words. "Then you know of the power of your warship and the threat it poses to our civilization." Kiran raised a hand, his expression reassuring. "Please, Teria, let us not jump to conclusions. The human dominion has no desire for conflict with the Galactic Council. We are a peaceful people, and we seek only to coexist and share our knowledge with your civilizations." Teria's eyes widened, her previous assumptions about the humans crumbling under the weight of Kiran's calm and measured words. I must admit, this was not the reception I had anticipated. You seem different from what we had imagined." Kiran chuckled, the sound warm and genuine. "We humans are full of surprises, Teria. I hope that in the days to come, we will have the opportunity to demonstrate the true nature of our people to you and the rest of the Galactic Council." As Teria and her team followed Kiran deeper into the human warship, she couldn't help but feel a sense of both trepidation and intrigue. The humans, it seemed, were not the primitive warlike civilization the Council had dismissed them as, and the power of their ancient relic was only the beginning of the mysteries they had yet to uncover. Understanding each other, as Teria and her team followed the human envoy, Kiran, deeper into the vast expanse of the reawakened warship, a sense of wonder and uncertainty began to take hold. The vessel's interior was a marvel of engineering, its sleek, angular design a far cry from the crude, bulky spaceships the Galactic Council was accustomed to. Kiran, sensing the group's awe, offered a warm smile. "Welcome to the UHD Everstorm, the pride of the United Human Dominion's fleet. I hope you'll find your stay here enlightening." Teria nodded, her 4 eyes scanning their surroundings with a mixture of fascination and caution. "The Everstorm is an impressive vessel, Kiran. Its technology far exceeds anything we've encountered before. I must confess, the Galactic Council has long underestimated the capabilities of your people." The human envoy's expression softened, and he gestured for the group to follow him. "Yes, I understand your initial skepticism. For too long, the humans have been regarded as little more than primitive, warlike beings, undeserving of a place in the galactic community. But we are a complex and diverse civilization, with a rich history and a deep desire for peace and cooperation." As they walked, Kiran began to share the story of the human dominion, its origins, its technological advancements, and its unwavering commitment to exploration and scientific discovery. Teria listened, her eyes widening with each new revelation, her previous assumptions about the humans crumbling in the face of this newfound understanding. The Everstorm, Kiran explained, is but a glimpse of our technological prowess. We have spent centuries harnessing the power of the stars, developing systems and weapons that eclipse even the mightiest of your council's vessels. And yet, our primary goal has always been to forge connections with other civilizations, to share our knowledge and learn from one another. Teria felt a pang of guilt as she recalled the Galactic Council's dismissive attitude towards the relic they had discovered. Then the incident at our research outpost. That was not an act of aggression, but rather a defensive measure, was it not? Kiran nodded, his expression somber. Indeed, when your people attempted to seize the Everstorm, we had no choice but to retaliate in order to protect ourselves. We had hoped to avoid such confrontation, but the Council's actions left us with little alternative. Teria's mind raced as she processed this new information. And now you've welcomed us aboard, despite our past transgressions. Why? The human envoy's gaze met hers, his eyes conveying a deep sense of understanding. Because we believe that through open and honest dialogue, we can build a foundation of mutual respect and cooperation. The Galactic Council has much to offer us, and we, in turn, have knowledge and technology that could greatly benefit your people. As they entered a vast, awe-inspiring chamber, Teria and her team were greeted by a dazzling display of holographic displays, each one showcasing different aspects of human history, culture, and scientific achievements. Kiran gestured to the displays, his expression filled with pride. This is but a small glimpse into the wealth of knowledge and experience we are eager to share with the Galactic Council. We believe that by working together, we can usher in a new era of unprecedented progress and discovery. Teria could scarcely believe her eyes as she took in the breathtaking displays before her. The depth and complexity of human civilization was truly staggering, and she realized that the Galactic Council had been woefully ignorant of the true potential of this long-overlooked species. "Kiran," she said, her voice tinged with awe, "I must apologize on behalf of the Galactic Council. We have been blind to the true nature of your people, and our dismissal of the Everstorm as a relic was a grave error. I can see now that you have much to teach us, and we would be honored to forge a lasting alliance with the United Human Dominion." The human envoy's face broke into a warm smile, and he extended his hand in a gesture of friendship. "Then let us begin the process of building that alliance, Teria. The future of our civilizations depends on it." As Teria grasped Kiran's hand, she felt a renewed sense of purpose and excitement. The path ahead would undoubtedly be filled with challenges, but the prospect of unlocking the secrets of human knowledge and technology filled her with a sense of boundless possibility. The once dismissed relic had indeed proven to be the key to a new era of cooperation and progress, one that would forever change the course of the galaxy. A new time of working together. The integration of the UHD Everstorm and its crew into the Galactic Council's sphere of influence marked the beginning of a new era of unprecedented cooperation and progress. What had once been dismissed as a mere relic had now become a symbol of the untapped potential of human civilization, and the Galactic Council was eager to harness this newfound knowledge and technology. Under the guidance of Kiran, the human envoy, and Teria, the Vosian researcher who had spearheaded the initial contact, a series of cultural exchanges and joint research projects were established. The council members, humbled by their previous misconceptions, were now eager to learn from their human counterparts, eager to uncover the secrets that had allowed the humans to develop such advanced systems and weapons. The humans possess a remarkable understanding of propulsion systems, energy generation, and material science, marveled Teria, as she pored over the technical data shared by the Everstorm's crew. Their knowledge in these areas is centuries ahead of our own. The Zorelian admiral, once a staunch critic of the human relic, now found himself fascinated by the potential applications of this newfound technology. If we can integrate these systems into our own ships, The implications for our defensive and exploratory capabilities would be staggering, he murmured, his eyes gleaming with excitement. But the exchange of knowledge went both ways, as the humans were equally eager to learn from the diverse cultures and civilizations that made up the Galactic Council. Kiran, in particular, was intrigued by the Council's diplomatic protocols and the intricate web of interstellar trade and commerce. The Galactic Council has managed to forge a remarkable degree of cooperation and stability across such a vast expanse of space, Kiran remarked to Teria during one of their many discussions. We humans have much to learn from your expertise in navigating the complexities of interstellar relations. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the once wary council members found themselves drawn into the vibrant tapestry of human culture and history. They marveled at the humans' rich artistic traditions, their innovative approaches to social and economic systems, and their unwavering commitment to scientific exploration. And in turn, the humans were fascinated by the diverse array of alien civilizations that made up the Galactic Council, each with its own unique customs, technologies, and perspectives on the universe. It is truly remarkable how much we can learn from one another, Kiran said, his expression filled with wonder. The potential for collaboration and mutual growth is limitless. Under the guidance of Teria and Kiran, the Galactic Council and the United Human Dominion forged a series of landmark agreements, paving the way for unprecedented levels of cultural exchange, economic cooperation, and joint research initiatives. The once dismissed Relic had become a testament to the power of understanding and cooperation, a shining example of what could be achieved when civilizations set aside their differences and embraced the shared pursuit of knowledge and progress. As the Everstorm took its rightful place alongside the Council's own impressive fleet, it became a symbol of the new era of collaboration that had dawned across the galaxy. Teria, now a respected voice within the Council, could scarcely contain her pride and excitement as she looked towards the future. Who would have thought, she mused to Kiran, that this ancient human warship would one day be the catalyst for such extraordinary change? The Galactic Council has been forever transformed by our encounter with the humans, and I believe that the best is yet to come. Kiran smiled, his gaze fixed upon the majestic silhouette of the Everstorm as it slowly drifted through the expanse of space. Indeed, Teria, the humans have much to offer the galaxy, and we are honored to walk this path alongside you and the Galactic Council. Together, we shall forge a new future, one built on understanding, cooperation, and the endless pursuit of knowledge. The two representatives, once wary adversaries, now stood as partners, their once divided civilizations united in a common cause. The once laughed-at Relic had become a symbol of the power of mutual respect and the boundless potential that arises when cultures come together, each bringing their unique perspectives and capabilities to bear. And as the Everstorm and the Council's ships set out on their next joint mission, Teria felt a renewed sense of purpose and excitement. The galaxy, it seemed, had only begun to glimpse the true might of the human civilization, and the journey ahead promised to be one of unparalleled discovery and progress.